welcome back to my channel. I'm Robin, or Hobbit's Reading List, and we are going to figure out what I'll be reading in the month of September. Now, school has started. I have the books that I need to read for class, as well as the Wodehouse book of the month. So I will need to pigeonhole those into the game, and we're going to see how successfully I do that. So I do have 3 books that I need to get into the game, 2 of which are for my banned books class, and then the Wodehouse that I mentioned. I'm not going to tell you the titles yet. Hopefully I can get them into the game. But if this is your first TBR video of mine, I play a game called TBR Pursuit, where I use the Lord of the Rings Trivia Pursuit board. Every color represents a different genre on my physical shelves. They're the 6 most popular genres there. So they are LGBT, romance, classic, psychology, Jewish, and fantasy. And I also have the bigger spots at the end of the spoke that represent miscellaneous, so that accounts for any other books that aren't within those 6 genres. I do also have an option, the purple roll again spots, add a book to my TBR. I don't think I will be going for that, just because it looks like for my banned books class I will be having to do a lot of reading, and so if I can get ahead, I would like to do that rather than, getting slowed down with my class reading with an extra book. So I will probably not be aiming for that, but who knows? I'm really impulsive. I do typically get 7 books on my TBR, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have to talk about. I don't think so. I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. So, I'm going to get set up, and then we're going to jump into the game. I don't really have an idea of where I want to go. I do have 2 classics on my required books, so I might as well go for that. Okay. So for this first roll, I can go anywhere on this outer edge, which would put me over here for classic. Okay, this is probably not helpful. A book with a holiday. Alright. For a book with a holiday, I have to read Animal Farm for my banned books class, and I had this idea, because I haven't read Animal Farm before, but I had this idea that it had a holiday in it, and so I just googled, does Animal Farm have a holiday in it? And apparently the animals create at least 3 holidays to commemorate events from the Revolution. Now, that tells you a little bit of what Animal Farm is about, but I wanted to explain that as, why I picked Animal Farm, because apparently it does have holidays in it. For those of you who don't know, Animal Farm is about this farm that is taken over by the animals that work it and had been mistreated. So they form a revolution and take over the farm. I don't know much more than that. I know that I like George Orwell's writing, so I'm looking forward to this, but I think Animal Farm has always sort of intimidated me, but I have to read it for my class, and it fit perfectly with the prompt that I got, so I will be reading that. Oh, okay, I will go Miscellaneous for funsies. Oh, lowest rated. My lowest rated book. Awesome. Okay, so my lowest rated book. So, unlike Goodreads, Storygraph does not allow you to sort things on your to-read list by rating, so I had to go through each book and look at what the rating is and then go back out and then click the next one. So I could only do that so many times before Storygraph got overwhelmed and shut down. But the lowest rating that I found was a 2.25, which, after looking through like a good amount of the books on my TBR, I would say like probably a third of them. That's pretty low. So I will be reading for my lowest rated book, Hunting for a Home Base. This is part of a series, but it can be read as a standalone. And it's a, like, not quite a baseball romance, which I like sports romances. For as much as I talk about, like, not enjoying reading sports, I do like sport romances. But this is about Chase, who has played baseball, I'm assuming Major League Baseball, but he needs to take a little bit of a break to rest and recover, and he goes to his hometown, and that is where he meets Alex, who, okay, even the summary is written weird. It says, Alex is shocked as hell that there's a person out there who challenges him the way that Chase does. He's been photographed on the arm of every hot young actress, but the way he's looking at him seems like he wants a different kind of at-bat. Who has young actresses on their arm? Chase, who is apparently a major league professional baseball player, or Alex, who we don't know anything about. So they meet. It's a sports discovery bisexuality romance featuring characters that originated in the other two books in the series. So I don't have high hopes for this, but it does say that it's quick. It's 150 pages. So there's that, I guess. Oh. Fine. I really debated just re-rolling it. Oh! A banned book! That's awesome! A hashtag banned book. Now, do I know why this book is banned? No. Although I have an idea. This is also for my banned books class, and it's the first book that we have to read for this class, so I have to read it soon, so I'm so glad it fit on my TBR. I have to read Late Capitalism, Fascism, which I'm not looking forward to. Mainly because those are some pretty big concepts, very political concepts. I'm not a hugely political person, and quite frankly, I'm pretty intimidated. So, but I don't know if I necessarily have to explain what it's about. It's about late capitalism fascism. But I will look it up on Storygraph to see if there's anything. So, I have the, like, premium version of Storygraph, and so it'll give you, like, kind of like a... It uses AI, but it's like, who should read this book? And it says, it's a dark, reflective cultural theory for readers who crave challenging, mid-tempo autopsies of how everyday dread curdles into banal, authoritarian longing. Whew, that sounds fun. Oh, is this... No, it is nonfiction. Okay. So it's operating under a theory that what if fascism didn't disappear at the end of World War II with the defeat of Hitler and Mussolini? Even more troubling, what if fascism can no longer be confined to political parties or ultra-nationalist politicians, but has become something much more diffuse that is spreading across our societies as cultural expressions and psychological states? That's the theory that the author operates under, and I'm assuming he looks at things using that theory. So that is going to be a bummer. I'm not looking forward to reading this book. It's so intimidating. I don't know if I can, like, accurately describe, like, how, like, not political I am. Like, I have beliefs, but, like, mainly because I have enough anxiety and existential dread that I don't need any ammo for that. Like, I know stuff that happens in the world, but like I don't need to watch that stuff. Storygraph also gives you like a personalized guess of how you'll respond to a book. And so it says that you've mostly gravitated lately towards light-hearted, funny, queer love stories. So the heavy economics-driven darkness of late capitalism fascism sits at the opposite corner of your current mood. Which is true. And I don't think that's my current mood. I think that's all my moods. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, let's not get a 1. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jewish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Romance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or romance. Romance or Jewish? Romance or Jewish? I feel like I haven't had a Jewish book in a while. I'm gonna go Jewish. Okay, a Jewish book written by a BIPOC author. Alright, a Jewish book by a BIPOC author. I have had this book on my TBR like 3 or 4 times now. It's Thank You for Sharing by Runya, Katz. And I think, honestly, the last time I picked up this book, or maybe time before that, it was this same prompt. I really need to read it. So this is about 2 people who went to Jewish summer camp together when they were young. They were like besties, but then something happened that they had a falling out and stopped speaking completely. And now as adults, they are flying to Chicago and they end up sitting next to each other on the plane. And neither of them are happy about that, but it's just a plane. But then Daniel's marketing firm gets hired by the museum in Chicago where Leo works. And so they have to interact a lot more and presumably sort of heal what happened, and it is romance. And, you know, get closer. So I'm really excited. I do want to read this book, and hopefully this is the month where I finally do it. Alright, Miscellaneous again. Feminism. A feminist book. A feminist book. By the light of my father's smile. So, I did look this up. It is a fiction story, which most of my feminist books are not fiction. So, I was happy to see this. But it is about this, like, family trip to Mexico, and there's, like, a focus on female sensuality, which is really interesting. And it was also, oh, it was a gift from my friend Stephanie. And so this, oh, apparently there's dual timeline. Walker crosses conventional borders of all kinds as she explores in this magical novel the ways in which a woman's denied sexuality leads to the loss of the much prized and necessary original self, and how she regains that self even as her family's past of lies and love is transformed. Okay. I mean, it sounds really interesting, so I am really looking forward to this, because I don't think I've read any Alice Walker. So this should be fun. I think it'll kind of fit in well with my kind of miscellaneous themes right now. 3, 2, 3 is classic. 1, 2, 3 psychology. 1, 2, 3 classic. Wait. I guess classic. Okay, cool. A classic that is available on audiobook. Alright, a classic that is available on audiobook. This was perfect because the Wodehouse book that I'm reading this month is available on audiobook. It is Dr. Sally, and I'm not even going to look up what it's about. All my dad told me was that Sally is a doctor in the early 1900s, which is incredible, but he said that despite that, it is not a feminist book. So that should be interesting. But it's Wodehouse, so I'm hoping it'll be funny, but my dad seemed hesitant to think that I would enjoy it. And he said it was based off of my morals. And so I'm like, I'm assuming that means that my morals are higher than what is in the book, which does not bode well. Okay, and for what is likely the last roll, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Let's just do Miscellaneous again. Alright, a dad pick. And for a dad pick, he didn't want to look through the whole list, which I don't blame him because I have like 240 books on my TBR. So he went to the bottom of my story graph and picked out the book that was their longest. So I'll be reading The Pool of the Stars by Emma Donoghue. I believe that this is happening in between, also based off of the costume. I want to say after World War I. Because it says, in an Ireland doubly ravaged by war and disease. So that makes me think after World War I, and the Spanish flu was also around 1920, so that would make sense. So it takes place in a hospital where Julia Power is a nurse, and at this hospital there are expectant mothers who have come down with a terrible new flu, are quarantined together. I picked this up in the pandemic. I don't know what I was thinking. But and 2 newcomers arrive at this hospital, one of which is a doctor who is rumored to be on the run from the police, and Bridie Sweeney, who is a volunteer helper. And over 3 days, these 3 women come into each other's lives and change it. So it's very interesting. And then an author, Emily St. John Mandel, left a little line. It says, a visceral, harrowing, and revelatory vision of life, death, and love in a time of pandemic. This novel is stunning. So, I don't know if the women are going to fall in love. Oh. That'll be fun. And probably depressing. So yeah, so those are my books that I will be reading this month. It's quite a mix. There's only 2, I think, that will, like, not be depressing in some way. Well, I don't know. The Walker might be. I don't think the Walker book will be depressing. We'll see. So that's the vibe for September. If you've read any of these books, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. But otherwise, like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell, especially so that you get notified whenever I upload a video, which will include weekly vlogs that will let you know what I thought about these books in somewhat real time. And I will talk to you in the next video. Bye!